What's going on tonight? I don't know, but whatever it is, it's gonna be live. All right, I guess I'm gonna stop for a few minutes here. Well, like 2 minutes max, because I always got to give people a chance to show up before I start going off on my thing. Got something to talk about, because I don't want to just slack off on these lives and show up with nothing. So yeah, I thought about something to talk about today. Who's that? Oh, I need to turn up my brightness a little so I can see it better. Why is my brightness all the way down? I think just because it turned nighttime and my thing is like, ooh, auto dimming. Nepsy, hello, and Mr. Landfill, of course, is here. And Jeff, how's it going, man? Joe Blow, Tony Simmons, all right. Oh, you know what? It's been a minute. I think I can get into it. I'm wicked upset. I couldn't afford the dome in Vermont. Oh, you wanted to buy my old house? Sorry, man. I mean, not that it's my fault. I'm not selling it. I sold it like a decade ago. Yeah, if anyone's wondering, my old house in Vermont is for sale, apparently. And if you want to know about it, ask Nepsy there. Nepsy, who just made a comment about it. Tony Simmons, what's up? Classic dude, Mike. Hi. All right. Well, I might as well stall for another 30 seconds. I usually start talking for real at about 2 minutes in. So let's just see how everyone's doing. Hey, at 2 hours, insomniac here. What? Does that mean it's at 2 a.m.? Oh, is it 2 a.m. there? Oh, Frederick, you need to get some sleep. But since you're up, I'll do my best to entertain you. Okay, we're at 2 minutes. Let's start into this. So I've got something to talk about here. How's the video, by the way? Hopefully it's all right. I don't know what it's like Sunday night, because I've noticed that at different times of day during the week, I'll have different video quality, presumably because different numbers of people are online at different times. But I don't know what it's like Sunday night. Okay, so earlier this week, I think it was this week, I posted a video about potentially making this website or app relationship finder thing, and I did some little experiment that was a little embarrassing for me, but you guys were super cool about it, and I got a lot of really positive feedback from it, like, hey Jaimie, that wasn't embarrassing at all, you did a great job on that. So to you guys, thank you for being so encouraging when I'm trying to do something weird and unusual and kind of outside my comfort zone. I appreciate that a lot. I also got some discouragement. Now, I wouldn't say I was discouraged, but people tried to discourage me strongly. Jaimie, this is stupid. What you're talking about. You're ridiculous. Don't do that. You'll never be able to do it, because like I tried to do something like this and it didn't work. And you're gonna have all these problems that I had because I did it and I knew everything and it didn't work for me, so it definitely won't work for you. And I got a lot of like real like long discouragement of don't do that. Don't you dare do something. That's unusual. And it reminded me of something else that happened this week. Sort of similar situation where I was asking about something a little bit unusual. And this actually happens pretty much anytime I ask a question online. And this week, the question I asked was about an electric boat. So I've been talking about one of my electric boats. I want to give it like a really simple speed control that just uses giant resistors to slow down the current for different speeds. So you connect different speeds with different resistors with different switches, so you can change the speed of the boat. So it makes it so you can change the speed, and so you can start the motor not just at 100%, because it's a little hard on the motor when you just go to full throttle. So I made a post about this, basically saying, I'm making this boat and I don't want to use an electronic speed control. I want to try something else, just because the electronic ones are expensive and big and complicated and they break and I can't fix it, blah, blah, blah. I want to try this other thing. And I learned recently that old golf carts used this exact thing I've been talking about. And I was talking about using heating coils as the resistors. But apparently old golf carts, they had these coils of nichrome wire. I think it was nichrome wire that just had a high resistance value-ish. That worked. I mean, it's actually a relatively low resistance value, but compared to like a copper wire, it's pretty high resistance. And that's what they use for resistance. And you can actually buy these little coils of wire that are the resistors. And I was like, ooh, I might have to get some of those, except, they're like $25. It's just a little piece of wire coiled up. I don't want to spend that much. So, I was asking on this forum for do-it-yourself electric vehicles, does anyone know where I could just buy some heavy gauge nichrome wire? Or is anyone else trying something like this? And then I ended my post with, and I already know that I'm an idiot and I should not be doing this. And, this time my name, Jaimie. And I got a whole bunch of responses, like right away. And basically, they all said, well, you're not an idiot, and it's not a terrible idea, but you're an idiot and you should not do that. And I'm just like, okay. Oh. And people got kind of like snippy about it, made really long messages. You know what you're doing? You're crazy. You're dumb. It doesn't make any sense. You got to do something else. And then, the most pleasant ones were just like information about where I can get. Well, this one guy said, on Alibaba, you can get a $20 speed controller, which was nowhere near sufficiently powered to power what I was doing. But, that didn't matter because he was just like her. So I responded to all these as I saw appropriate in a very logical way. Like to the guy who told me where I could buy a speed controller that totally wouldn't work and is completely useless information, I just responded, potatoes grow in the ground, because he said something that made no sense. So I gave him useless information too. And then, I responded to everyone, well, that's all great, but that's not the question I asked at all. So why are you talking? Things like this. And then, someone got really angry at me. And the whole thing was basically just like designed to say, you're trying to do something different. Don't you dare! The exact same thing with those other discouraging people about the website thing. And this stuff doesn't really affect me at this point. I've done so many unorthodox things, so many crazy things that worked out. And people told me, oh, it's never going to work. Don't do it. It's never going to work. Oh, you'll never be able to do it. Blah, blah, blah. Because I tried something like that once and it didn't work for me. You know how arrogant a statement that is to tell someone else, I tried that and it didn't work. Therefore, nobody in the universe can do it. Come on. Like that, it's like you are the ultimate authority on whatever this thing is. Once you've tried it, that means no one else could succeed. Except over and over in my life, I've done things that people have said, you can't do it. I've tried it, didn't work, all this stuff. And over, I've succeeded at all this stuff I've been warned off of. So now I just don't listen. And when people say, I've tried it, I'm just like, well, did you try everything? I mean, did you really try? Did you see it not work and then try to troubleshoot it and then figure it out? Are you smarter than me? Might I be able to do something you don't know how to do? So yeah, at this point, I just don't care. However, it makes me think, how many other people, how many younger people particularly, like how many kids are out there, or teenagers, or even adults who are just getting an idea for something they want to try? How many of these people are saying, I think I want to try this thing, and they accidentally say it to other people, and other people are just crushing it, saying, don't you dare do anything out of the ordinary, don't do anything abnormal, color between the lines, stay in line, don't do anything weird, don't you dare do anything weird. How many people with ideas are just getting crushed by that before they even get started? It's a terrible thing because a lot of people are. And here's why this is such a problem. It's because our society is not going in a good direction right now. And you can argue this, but like there are a lot of problems we have today that we should not have. Like families having to work, two parents having to work a job to be able to raise a family. Why? Why is it that in the past, one parent could work and the other parent could be at home taking care of the home and raising the kids? And the two people can work together, and one person brings the resources home and the other person uses the resources at home, and they create a life together. Why was that possible at one point? But then we progressed. We gained more technology, more knowledge, more understanding of the way the universe works. And now it's harder to live. Now you have to have both parents out there. That doesn't make any sense. We're doing some serious stuff wrong. And like all this technology we have so many capabilities today, but people keep getting more and more miserable. Or is that just my imagination? I don't think it is my imagination, because I've been growing up and I've been paying attention, my whole life, and I just see people getting more and more miserable throughout my lifetime. And it's not because we're losing capabilities, we're gaining capabilities. We're gaining access to more resources, we're gaining knowledge, we're gaining understanding. It's just we're doing some stuff really stupid. We're doing some really dumb stuff that's taking us in the wrong direction, despite all these other things that make it possible to go in all kinds of directions. So how do we fix that? We fix that not by doing the same things we've been doing. We fix that by doing different things. And this is how it's always been. Every time there's progress being made in the world, every time something comes along that actually really makes people's lives better, it's always some person who's like, you know what? I got this idea. I don't know if it's going to work. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try this thing. And then they try a thing. And a lot of times when you try things, it doesn't work. Probably most of the time, people just try something. It doesn't work. But every once in a while, something works, or some kind of information comes out of it, or some building block for some other thing, or some huge thing just happens to work once the person just tried it. And it is a huge benefit to humanity. And now, today, what are we doing? Oh, you want to try something different? No, it's stupid. You're dumb. Let me just crush your soul and make sure you don't ever try to do anything unusual or different or risky or any of that, because it might make our lives better. So we got to stop doing that, man. Stop doing that. And I don't know if I do that, but if I do, I'm going to be paying attention. I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be paying attention. And if I ever catch myself discouraging someone from trying something, oh, I'm going to give myself a good slap, because that is not a good thing to do. Now, it's one thing if you see someone trying something to give them, maybe you have some more understanding of what they're doing and can give them some feedback and maybe help them skip a few mistakes and stuff like that. But just flat out shut someone down, shut someone's imagination down, it's a terrible thing. Don't do that. All right. I think that's me going on for long enough. What do we got going on here? Let's see. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Okay. No loans on that dome for sure. Cash deal only, I'm sure. Well, I don't know. You're talking about the dome I made in Vermont, my old house. You might be able to get a loan for it. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know anything about it, actually. Good video, Ken Vick says. Great. Oh, yeah, that was my problem. Couldn't get a loan on it. Oh, you couldn't get a loan on the house. Man, you don't want a loan to buy a house anyway, because then you just, loans. You don't want to be in with the bank. This quality is really good. Oh, great. So maybe I should just keep doing these lives in the evening, because maybe not that many people are online at this time. I saw a video about the dome and Jaimie built it really good, as it seems safe still. Well, that's good. It's got a big steel frame in it. The thing should last freaking forever. Days are getting longer here, summer, so I'm missing out your normal Sunday live streams because I've been enjoying the great outdoors. Excellent. But been following you in silence. Now I'm here to interrupt your live. Excellent. Well, so this is a better time for you then. Because, yeah, this is definitely a better time for me because I was having the same situation. I'd be here at 11 o'clock, like 11 to noon or 11 to 1, and it's like right in the middle of the day, and it's like a beautiful day out. And I'm looking out the window going, oh man, I could be out there digging dirt or sawing something or building a boat, and I'm in here. So yeah, I really like doing these in the evening because now I don't have anything else to do. I can focus on this. Hey, Jaimie, been great watching you progress on all your different buildings, boats. Pumped to see what you think up next. Well, me too. Thanks, man. Oh yes, that giant resistor speed controller. I wouldn't do it because those are nothing other than heaters, and they use up electricity and turning it into heat. Not very economic, but it works fine. So, Frederick, apparently, I actually even said this in the post I made, and I always say this when I'm talking about this, like last week and the week before that. So if I do a resistive speed control, I'm not going to be driving around on half speed. I'm only going to be driving around on full speed. So 99% of the time, I'm going to be driving on full speed. So nothing is going through resistors. It's just shorted right from the batteries to the motor. So there's no loss. The only time I would have loss then is just when I'm accelerating, because I don't want to jam the motor right into full speed. So what, like 3 seconds? How long does it take to speed up? Just put it in slow, medium, go. Or if I'm parking or something, doing some little maneuvers or trying to get around something or something like that. Like 99% of the time, it's actually more efficient because I'm just direct connecting the batteries directly to the motor. It doesn't go through any electronics at all. So yeah, definitely not less efficient. Unless, of course, I was just driving around at half speed, which would be ridiculous. Tomater says, hey guys, how's it going, man? You'll never live on an island with a lumber mill. Yeah, oh man. Before I moved off grid, so many people just said, oh, you can't do that. It's crazy. You think that life's going to be fun and games, but it's going to be a hard life. You're going to hate it. It's going to be miserable. Have you ever worked on a farm before? It's just hard work all the time. Dude, I love it. I love this. I've been doing it for quite a while now. And it's like I would much rather spend a day digging dirt than like a day in the DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles, like trying to get a driver's license. Like that's the kind of stuff that you do in the city. And not you don't do that every day, of course, but like just dealing with paperwork and bureaucracy and this bull crap. Like I would much rather do some hard physical labor than like just natter on the phone about some bureaucratic crap to get like a permit to do something and hire someone to do something and all this stuff and just it's so much more rewarding to get my own hands dirty and do it myself. So much better, at least for me. Maybe couple the resistor speed controller with a sand battery might be cool if it worked. You mean like heat up a sand battery with the resistive speed control, which is almost never going to be on anyway, so it wouldn't make much heat I don't know. That would only be useful if I was driving around at half speed all the time, but electric water heater elements will work for you. Yeah, dip in seawater to cool them. I don't think I need to cool them if it's, whatever. Old school RC cars use a rheostat and ballast resistor for speed control. When I grew up, my dad always discounted all my ideas. Now I do the same with him. Yeah, I had a similar situation with my dad. He's just kind of like to shoot my crazy ideas down. But now, like I'm doing all my crazy ideas, and I love it. It's great. I'm sure he was trying to take care of me though. Like he just didn't want me to go down a bad path, but didn't realize how good a path this could be. Technology requires more and more humans to keep it functioning and evolving. Well, another problem with it, the technology we have right now is it's so fragile. Like, just wait till the next solar flare comes and, EMPs the planet. Oh my gosh. When was the last time that happened? Like 150 years ago or something? I don't remember when it was. But when people first started using electricity and they just had some like Morse code lines going around, there was some like solar flare thing that came by the Earth and like melted all the lines. It was kind of crazy, and it was a big deal. But just imagine like if that happened today. And for anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, basically, an EMP is an electromagnetic pulse, and what happens is you get this like strong change in magnetic field. So it's just like a pulse of magnetism, kind of, like the magnetic field around you gets changed quickly. And when magnetic fields change, they induce current, like they make electrons move. They make electricity move in metal objects. So if you've got wires or little electronic things, this sudden burst of of magnetic energy will force all your wires to suddenly make electricity, or they'll force electricity to move through all your wires. And if the magnetism is strong enough, if the pulse is strong enough, it will move enough electricity to actually melt the wires. And we have all these electronics today with these tiny little wires that are so easy to melt, right? And all these semiconductors and stuff, like such delicate little stuff. So, you get a suddenly changing magnetic field, like a magnetic pulse, and the stuff just melts itself, like all the wires, all the little connections just melt. And if that happens, this tablet's dead, this light's dead, like just so much, all the electronics on the planet, toast. I mean, except maybe some stuff that's protected or whatever, But yeah, our electronics today, and they're not even just susceptible to EMPs and stuff like that. They're just made to not last long, built-in obsolescence, planned obsolescence. It's a really dumb thing. Technology, okay. Old milk house heaters have the wire you need. Old milk house heaters. Old milk house heaters. What is an old milk house heater? I'm gonna have to see if I can remember that. But it's wrong of me. What is just? Oh, yeah, Joe, you shouldn't do that to your dad. You're right. Got any candles you can light? I do, actually. You want a candle? I got a candle right here. Same one I had last week. Wait. I need a little. So I've got a candle and I've got a roll of string. And the candle fits in the roll of string, except, well, I guess it doesn't fall too far. Yeah, maybe it's all right. I can light a candle. To actually use the candle as my light source, I would need a much bigger candle, because here, yeah, it's, why do you see me a little bit? All right, so we're doing the rest of the live like this. No, I'm going to turn on the light. Hopefully everything going okay. Well, not everything is going okay. There's never a situation where everything's going okay, but for the most part, things are going pretty well. What is the old dome, the old dome? I think you mean the old dome worth. I don't know. To me, it's worth nothing because I have no connection to it anymore. I'm here. I guess it's worth whatever someone will pay for it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how someone would appraise the dome. Stream image quality not as good tonight for me. Oh, sorry, man. Will you ever switch to building boats with carbon fiber? I don't know, maybe. I'm kind of tired of playing with fiberglass in general because it's just, the resin is so sticky and it's not water soluble. So you get it on yourself. It's not easy to get off. And it's corrosive, like it burns your skin. And then the fiberglass is itchy. It's a miserable material to work with. I'm gonna turn off my candle because it's not actually doing anything right now. It's just kind of wasting. Let's see. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Carbon fiber is stronger than fiberglass, right? But I don't know. It's not that much different. Although, from what I understand, you can get carbon fiber like sheets already made, like with the resin in it, and you can heat it up and get it into shape and then let it cool off. But that would be hard to make a boat unless I had like a big heater. That would be fun though. Oh man, if I had like a giant sheet of carbon fiber and I had like a big boat mold and I could heat up the carbon fiber and then just drape it over the boat mold. Oh my God, that would be so fun. I'm not gonna hold my breath on that one. Oh, bus dweller is now ambulance dweller. Oh, nice. Are you the one who showed me pictures of your ambulance? That thing was awesome. No one likes the DMV there. Yeah, the Department of Motor Vehicles. Did you ever research Trump? Old French design for air pressure and ice pellet output. Ice pellets? Input is water flow into funnel at ground level. Air tank deep in ground. Bill Mollison talked about them. I did look up a Trump a while ago. Man, you should have asked me this weeks ago because I did look it up. If I remember right, I think I remember what it was. But it makes ice pellets, is that right? That's cool. No fog with night temps. Wait. No fog with night temps. Oh, no fog in my camera. Right. Although I did turn my tablet on. Oops. I did turn my tablet on a little bit ahead of time, just in case. But yeah, some weeks in the past, my tablet has just not been turned on in days, and then I go turn it on to do a live, and then like the lens fogs up just because of moisture in there, until it warms up and gets rid of the fog. The Carrington event. Yeah, that was the EMP that came from the sun. Oh, September 1859. So it wasn't far off, 150-ish years ago. Yeah, the Carrington event in the 1800s, 1859 apparently, set telegraph wires on fire. That's crazy. Oh, a metal cage that is grounded will stop an EMP. Yeah, maybe I need to start keeping my stuff inside metal cages. What's it called? Faraday cage, right? I could metal cage my whole house, and then my whole house would be EMP proof. How dense a metal cage do I need to make to do that? It might be a pain to do the entire house. Although I do already have a few stainless steel cables around the house, but I think it would be better if they went vertical. Faraday cage, yes, right. Toaster also has the wire you need. Yeah, but I think I want thicker gauge wire than is in a toaster, because like a toaster is going to be made for 120 volts, so it's going to have thin wire with high resistance, and I could gang a bunch of them together, but I think I'd rather just use like one fatter wire, because I want a really low resistance because the motor doesn't have that much resistance. What's your next project after the lumber mill and boat upgrades? Oh, okay. Well, cut wood and then build my second floor and my third floor. So this piece of wood right here, that's my second floor level. And as you can see, there's a piece of wood there. There's no actual, the second floor will go up on top of this. I want to build my second and third floors. I'm very excited to get that done. The second floor is just going to be a floor that goes around the outside of the building, not the outside of the building, like on the inside, but around the edge. And it'll be like 2.5 meters wide, like 8 feet, and just go around the whole building. And it'll be like a racetrack. And then the third floor will be a solid floor all the way across. and I'll make a gymnasium up there. I'll have a trampoline, a bunch of ropes to swing around on, and I don't know, gymnasium stuff. I'm really looking forward to that stuff. That's going to be cool. Hablas español. Mi español es no perfecto, pero es no todo basura. I just said my Spanish is not perfect, but it's not total garbage. So I know enough Spanish that I can talk to people, but I often have to say, repetirlo más despacio, por favor, which is like, can you repeat that more slowly, please? I have what I call slow Spanish, lento, español lento, slow Spanish, because I can understand if the person's not talking too fast. And then I have enough Spanish vocabulary to get a lot of my ideas across, but I know I sound stupid because often, like if I'm trying to, like say I'm trying to say table. Oh, I know the word for table, kabla, but say I'm trying to say the word table, but I don't know the Spanish word for table. I would say flat thing with legs where you put dinner, and then they'd be like, table? Sí. Mesa, right. Anyway, my Spanish is functional, but not pretty. Carbon fiber need to be baked in an oven, earth oven. It is crazy how cheap carbon fiber has become. Really? Do I need to look into that? Although I think fiberglass or glass cotton is the way to go for most builds. Glass cotton, eh? I'm gonna have to look into this carbon fiber thing. If it's getting really cheap, then maybe I will get into some carbon fiber. Hi, Jaimie. I like the new time. Excellent. Me too. Bus dweller. Yep. Yeah. Your ambulance, man. That thing looked awesome. I hope both your boat seats got to your guy to be shipped in the big crate thingy. Oh, I hope so. They should be there. Actually, I think I checked and they did get delivered. So I presume you're the one who sent me the boat seats. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm really excited about getting some fancy squishy boat seats for my boat. I can't call it a new boat because I've just, modified it a lot. The actual hulls are kind of old. I'm going to call it my new boat anyway. Oh, and I think the name of it now, it used to be called the Shark Slicer because, it had pretty sharp front edges of the pontoons. But now I think it's the Tiger Shark Slicer, or just the Tiger Shark if you're feeling lazy, because I painted tiger stripes on it. I really can't spell tonight. That's okay. I like it when people spell things wrong, because then I get to read and sound like a real idiot. But it's not my fault. Let's see. Trump. Ice pellets from when you let humidity build up, release from air system. The air is very cold. Will the air be cold enough to make ice, though? Does it get that cold? Humidity build up, release from air system. I gotta look that up. Have other YouTubers asked you to collaborate for content? No, I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe there's been someone at some point, but nothing I can think of at the moment. Yeah, not really. I think a little while ago someone asked something, but it was someone who wasn't here or anything. It was, yeah, nothing really. I know there are some other YouTube people around here though, because I've passed sailboats and it'll say YouTube and then their name on YouTube. So maybe I should look one of those up sometime. There's one boat that's been near town for, I don't know, years or something. And they have a YouTube sign on there. I should just drive up to them and be like, hey, what's up, dudes? And they're going to be like, who the hell are you? I don't know. You could use your fart gas to run a propane RV fridge. I could. Trump, how to bury air tank deep with pipe to it. Sounds difficult. Oh, burying an air tank deep. That's not that hard. Just dig a big hole. EMP blast would have to be within about 20-mile radius. Well, it depends how big the EMP is. Like, if it's coming from the sun, we're not within 20 miles of that. But it could like mess up the whole planet. Have you seen the toroidal boat propellers yet? Yes, I've been sent links to the toroidal boat propellers many times. And at first I was a little excited because, the thumbnail is like, oh, toroidal propellers increase efficiency 4 trillion%. And then, I watched the video and it's like, under these specific circumstances, at these speeds, it increases the efficiency by quite a bit. However, normal function is just, there's a mild increase, but it's not that big a deal, I mean, still, I would take a mild increase. However, I don't know if it would be worth the amount of weeds that thing is going to collect as it's driving. Because, I'm in an area where I'll go through, I'll be driving along and then it'll just be this area of like cut grass because someone cut their grass somewhere. And I mean like cut like grass, like someone cut it with a machete or whatever. And then it rained and it all washed into the water. And then there's just like this field of grass just that you can't go around. So you just drive through it. And, like boat propellers, a lot of them are designed to be weedless. Has nothing to do with marijuana, but it makes it so that the weeds or the grass and stuff falls off the propellers. Now these toroidal propellers, man, they would just collect that grass and scoop it up and it'd make a mess. I watched the new log mill. I think it was funny watching you duck like the roof was attached to your boat. Well, the thing is, like, before I put the roof up, I had duck under the things. And then I got it up and I kept ducking. And I was just like, all right, Jaimie, seriously, get over it. It's like 8 feet over your head. Do you have all the wood you need to build your floors and such? I do have all the wood. It's on my land. I have more than enough wood to do it. I just have to transport the logs to here and then cut them. And yeah, most of the work is not done. But I do have sufficient wood, like just lying on the forest floor. Because I have enough land that there are plenty of trees that get knocked over in windstorms every now and then and stuff like that. Coronal mass ejection. Yeah, I was saying, what was I saying? A solar flare, but it's a coronal mass ejection, right? Danny the Quad Mesa, yeah, table. Shark Slicer 3.6, El Tiburon Slicer. That means shark slice. Are there many sharks in your area? Not many. I have seen a few. I haven't seen any big sharks. Just, like I saw one about that big. One that I feel like I could fight off if I needed to. Nothing like a great white that's just going to chomp you in half or something. Although, not many people get eaten by sharks, which is very encouraging. Because if you're in the water and a big shark comes after you, there's pretty much nothing you can do. So it's nice that they don't eat humans very often. That's very considerate of them. Trump, deep like dozens or 100 feet. Oh, more deep, more air pressure. Oh, well, I'm not burying something 100 feet deep. Yeah, that's pretty tough. Toroidal props are 10 times the price of a regular prop. Yeah, I probably wouldn't buy a toroidal prop. If I was going to get one, I'd probably make it. But it just doesn't seem like it's worth the amount of effort it would take to make one or the cost. It's more efficient in perfect conditions. But real life doesn't have perfect conditions. And, I'm driving through weeds sometimes and, stuff gets stuck in propellers. All right, what do we got here? Have you tried to cut wood on the new mill yet? No, I've not. Not yet. I'll get there soon. I should do a test at some point though. I just got the stuff on top of the roof keep rain out of it, but it's not like watertight. So I should probably get some silicone and just at least make a section of it that's watertight where the lumber mill will stay most of the time. So it's not getting rained on constantly, because there are some parts of it that are not stainless or aluminum or anything, and I don't want those to rust. So I don't know, I'll do that soon. Yeah, I'm making progress on all of these projects. They're going very well. Oh, today I did take the tiger shark out with the kids. I got some video of it too, and everything performed well. Didn't drive as fast as I would like, but I only have 4 of the solar panels, connected into the switch. So obviously it's not going to go full speed. And I haven't connected, it has 6 solar panels on it total. And I haven't connected the other 2 solar panels because if I connect them to the switch, I'm just going to end up disconnecting them to connect them to the charge controller, because those are the ones that are going to charge the batteries when they get here anyway. So I'll just wait till the batteries get here and then do the final wiring. I don't need to do some temporary wiring to play with. But yeah, I drove it. Everything worked great. The pedaling worked well. The motor worked well. The pedaling on that big a boat is not going to be anywhere near as useful as on the smaller boats, which is to be expected. It's just a much bigger boat. Just using pedal power, I can definitely move the boat. It's just I'm not going to be going like miles and miles just pedaling. In the boat I've been driving for, I don't know, something like 6 months. I didn't even have a motor on it. I just pedaled. So I was pedaling like all the way to town and back, like 35, 40 miles, depending on what stops I was making in between or stuff. But yeah, I'm not gonna be making just pedal trips with the bigger boat. But it's gonna have batteries in it. So the pedals are mostly just to, give me a bit of extra speed, give me something to do while I'm driving too, give me a bit of exercise. And then in the event of an emergency, then I can use pedal power to at least get somewhere, get home or whatever, But hopefully I won't have such an emergency, but you never know. EMP mostly come from nuke blasts in the air about 5 miles up. I think Panama is safe from that kind of attack. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people are nuking this area, this particular area. If World War III comes and nukes start being tossed around, the Panama Canal is definitely getting hit by something. Although, one even conventional bomb could take out the whole canal and just make it useless. Just make a mess of an area. There's nothing at this end of the country that would be worth bombing. So it is kind of, I guess I'm in a pretty good spot in the event of World War III, except no one would really be in a good spot in the event of World War III. So let's not have World War III. That would be great. We taste bad to sharks, so they taste us and spit us out mostly. Could they just taste this with their tongue, not their teeth? Maybe I need to be extra stinky when I get in the water, so that the sharks can smell me and just that smells terrible, and not bother biting me. That'd be great. Although, like I said, I haven't seen any big sharks around. And often in the mornings, the first thing I do when I wake up is oh no, it's nighttime, I'm getting the yawns. I'll get up and go outside to my little beach and get in the water and swim a lap around my island, which ends up, I haven't actually measured how far I'm going. It's less than a mile, but probably, it's a pretty decent distance. And I don't know how far it is because I can't swim right next to my island. I guess I could, but it's really shallow. So I swim a pretty big circle around my island. But anyway, I always swim with a knife. You want to see my knife? Hold on. Let me get my knife. It should be right here unless the kids stole it. Yeah, so whenever I go on morning swims, I wear my thing, obviously, so I can see the sharks coming, and then I always have a knife with me. And I don't want to rip the Velcro off for testing purposes, but yeah, I feel like if something attacks me, At least I got a chance to defend myself if I'm with this. So if you're planning to play any pranks and try to scare me while I'm swimming, don't, because I might stab you. Oh, what do we got here? I want to do what you're doing, but with a 30-foot yurt. Do it, man. Sounds great. Do you have some land? Have you started, or is this just a I want to do it but I never will kind of thing? Because if it's I want to do it but I never will, man, shove that over into the I will do it thing. Like when you take your fantasies and turn them into reality, oh, it's amazing. But you got to be ready for hard work. Be ready for hard work, and everything's cool. Question: my brother sailed from San Diego to New Zealand. Oh my God, that must have been so fun. In a 22-foot boat. That's not a very big boat for that trip. Have you ever thought about hooking up with a jungle girl? Wait. So this was a fact completely unrelated to the question. Have I ever thought about hooking up with a jungle girl? You know I'm a guy, right? I think about all kinds of things that should never be spoken out loud. But I don't know any jungle women that I'm going to be making out with or anything. Plus, I don't hook up with people. That whole hooking up thing, the one night stand, yeah, that was just never of interest to me. Even when I was like 20 years old, it just seemed like a waste of time. Because when you're getting intimate with someone, there's always risks of things, STDs or pregnancies. If you get a girl pregnant, she becomes part of your life. Or she could become part of your life. Yeah, you never know what you're getting yourself into if you're just doing some kind of hooking up thing. So it always seemed to me like hooking up, one night stands, all that stuff was a high risk, low benefit activity, and I always kind of stayed away from that stuff. So I'm not going to be hooking up with anyone. Would an electric airboat propulsion system work on your boat? Well, yeah, why not? I've actually thought a lot about making, a big air fan for a boat. I kind of want to do it. I'm not going to do it right now because I have other stuff going on, but I think that would be super fun to do. And I don't know which boat I would want to put it on. It would be really fun. One really fun thing about it would be like, when you're parked at a dock, just to get someone to stand behind the boat and then just, they would just be like blown over. That would be hilarious. Hey, just made plane reservations to check out Panama. Cool, man. Get your bone. What is get your bone? Oh, I hope you have fun in Panama, man. Yeah, how long you been in the country? Okay, what about having your pedal wheels lift while using motor, less resistance? So my paddles right now on the Tiger Shark slicer, if I have them at an angle like this, there are only 4 of them. So there aren't 8 like on my other boat. There's only 4. But put them like this, neither of these 2 paddles touch. And I got that on video. So I can actually drive, and as long as I have the pedals at 45 degrees, all the paddles are out of the water. Let's see. Jaimie, although it really doesn't cause that much resistance anyway, it's just a freewheeling thing. Jaimie, do you have a satellite phone for emergencies? I do not. Not at all. Wait, I need 2 knives? Why do I need 2 knives? Electric baitline goes fishing. Why do I need 2 knives? 1 in each hand? I don't know. I feel like 1 in one hand is good. Man can hold the thing with 1 and I don't know. I don't want 2 knives. I might end up stabbing myself. Spear gun. Oh yeah. I need to put a spear gun on my Amazon wish list. Someone kept telling me that. I should do that. You know what kind of, I think I don't want a spear gun though. I think I want a Hawaiian sling, I think it's called, which is basically, it's like, oh, I don't have anything. Oh, wait, here we go. Imagine this is way longer than it is. And imagine there's like a rubber band attached to one end. and you put your hand through it, and the rubber band is like, surgical tubing, like a really good rubber band. And you put your hand through the rubber band, and you pull it, and then grab the spear. And as long as you're holding the spear, the rubber band stays tight. But as soon as you let go of the spear, it shoots out, right? I think I want to get one of those. And the reason I want that is because it's really simple and easy to reload. Like you just pull it back and you're ready to go again. Because the thing is with, all the ones with the triggers and the, the rope that goes out and, all this stuff, it's like you take your shot and if you miss, it's like, okay, now I got to spend 5 minutes rewrapping the rope, pulling the thing back in, redoing the things. And I mean, 5 minutes is an exaggeration, but yeah, with the Hawaiian sling thing, you just pull it back and you're ready to go again. Plus there's fewer parts to break, What time is it there? Here in Utah, it's 6:45. It is, well, I started at 7, so I guess it's almost 8 right now. It's 6:45 in Utah, and I have another hour of light. Is it winter down there? I know it's warm, but is it cooler? But is it a cooler time of year? I don't know, that the temperature really doesn't change much throughout the year. Like we're close enough to the equator here that the time changes. I mean, like the amount of daylight changes by like an hour. So in the winter, I am in the northern hemisphere, so I'm north of the equator. And in the winter, it gets dark at like 6, and in the summer, it gets dark at like 7-ish, So it really doesn't change that much. When I lived in Canada, in the winter, it would get dark at like 4 in the afternoon. And then in the summer, it would be bright till like 10. I heard just punch shark in the nose and they leave. Yeah, if I come across a shark and it's coming after me, I'm gonna punch him in the nose. I'm gonna stab him in the eyeballs. I don't know. If it gets to that point, I'm just gonna be fighting for my life. About how many acres is your island? Like one or two. Like it's not that big. Embed Wolverine claws. Well, that would be great. Except I don't have Wolverine healing, so if I stuck Wolverine claws myself, I'd probably bleed to death. The other problem is, so Wolverine's got his claws, right? And they come out here. Whoosh. Wolverine claws, right? But it comes right out of here. Now when they go back in, where do they go? They don't go like all the way to here, right? Like they just go like to here. I have to imagine, which means he can't move his wrist. It severely restricts his movement, unless those things are going all the way back into his forearm. Has this been addressed at all? What is the specific biology in there? Anyway, I always wondered that, like when Wolverine's claws are in, can he move his wrists? I think you need a pipe. I've got a pipe, I'll tell you what. Oh, with bearings for your paddle boat, I think you need a pipe with bearings for your paddle boat where your feet meet the pedals. Keep your feet from wearing out. Oh, basically pedals. So like rolly pedals. My original plan was to put actual pedals on my pedals so that, you can put your feet on a flat thing, your feet stay on a flat surface, just like a bicycle. You got the pedals on a bicycle that can spin around so your feet aren't like rolling on some thing. But, after I made my first paddle wheel boat, I hadn't put any pedals on it yet. It was just like a fat fiberglass pipe, maybe a little less than the thickness of my wrist where my foot goes on. And I pretty quickly got used to just pushing on this pipe with my feet. And the way it works is as the pipe rolls around, it'll like roll up my foot. But then every revolution at the part when I'm pulling my foot back and there's no pressure, I just kind of slide my foot back up. So it goes like a push down and then get back up. And after doing it for a minute or two, it just became like I don't have to think about it and just readjust my foot every time, and it feels totally normal. So I haven't felt the need to make pedals. I still might do it at some point. Oh, he told me a lot of stories. They're mostly very family oriented. I am so lost right now. I thought a jungle girl might be a good match for Jaimie. Oh, wait, he told me a lot of, this is about the brother. Oh, so your brother told you a lot of stories about jungle girls, that they're very family oriented. Well, I mean, if I meet a jungle girl that I like, yeah, sure, why not? But I don't want to hook up with her. I would like hook up permanently, but that would have to be clear and everything. How about a pedal-powered boat, like your old house, like a bicycle and a dynamo? Okay, a pedal-powered boat that converts your mechanical energy into electricity, and then that through a motor back into mechanical energy. Every time you go through a change of state, you're losing some efficiency. So by the time it actually got to the propeller, you will have lost like half of your energy. So it's actually much more efficient to just go direct from pedals to propeller without any changes of state, like changing into electricity and back to mechanical and everything. So my favorite type of pedals are the ones where it's just a solid piece of like bent pipe for pedals. It goes through another bent pipe for pedals on the other side. And then in the middle, there's a paddle wheel attached, and it's all one solid piece. And then, 4 bearings, but the whole thing is just one solid piece. So there's no loss of efficiency in gears or electricity or anything like that. Plus, they're very robust. Have you heard of Colin Furs? He is like a British you. I've heard of Colin Furs. He's definitely different, but I know what you're talking about. He likes to make stuff. Hey, Yurt Guy, I have 49.4 acres up in Connor, Maine for 40 grand. Taxes are $56 a year. Hit me up if you're interested. Well, there you go. Maybe you could 3D print one of those rubber band guns. I know there are crossbows like that could be 3D printed. Dude, I don't need to 3D print a rubber band gun. I can make one out of wood. I just need the good rubber bands. Or just a slingshot. A slingshot would be pretty good. Or are you talking about a spear gun? I mean, I can make a spear gun. Anyway, what time zone are you in? Oh, what time zone am I in? It's, well, whatever Panama is in. Like the whole country's in the same time zone, I'm pretty sure. And we don't have a time change. Like there's no daylight savings, none of that garbage. It's just the same all the time. Is it Bogota, maybe? I don't remember exactly. Let's see. Check out Jorg Spray for slingshot weaponry. I've seen that guy too. I mean, I can make a slingshot. Are you going to make a rail system to bring logs up to your sawmill? You mean like a train track kind of rail system? Probably not, because I don't think that would be advantageous. I think, if anything, that would be a problem because it would make things so they could roll backwards very easily because they have to go uphill to get there. Plus, I don't know, a rail system, it seems pointless. I'd rather just have a good cart, because if I have rails, like for a railroad, like train track rails, I can only go on the rails. Plus, the rails are going to be in the way if I ever want to go across them. Then I need to make a thing to get across them and everything. Like, I'd rather just have like a good cart with good wheels on flat ground. Like that would totally be good. And so, yeah, maybe I have to push a little harder to make that move, but whatever. I don't need to fingertip move 800-pound logs and stuff, 1,400-pound logs. I don't know how much my logs are gonna cost. Let's see. We'll be in Panama about 3 weeks. Your area about a week. Any chance of meeting? I don't know. Send me an email. Let me know when you're coming. What's going on? I do go to town every once in a while. If you're in this area, you'll probably be in the town that I go get stuff in. A bicycle tire tube and a pointy metal rod makes a Hawaiian sling. Yeah, I actually have a steel pipe, like a 1/2 inch steel pipe, 12 millimeters. I was thinking of just making a Hawaiian sling out of that, make a nice point on the end, maybe make a little, a locker in her, so when you stab the fish, thing turns and they can't get out. Maybe I need to get a bicycle tube. Basically the reason I haven't made one here is because I got some surgical tubing a while ago, and it just did not seem very good quality. And when I lived in the Bahamas for a winter before coming here, I used a piece of surgical tubing to make just kind of like a slingshot spear gun. It was like a tube with the slingshot or the surgical tubing wrapped just really tight around it, and then another thing. Anyway, it was just it's a pretty simple thing, and that lasted months. And I left and it was still functioning. But here, the surgical tubing, it's just it's so cheap, it doesn't last very long, and it disintegrates so fast in the sun. Maybe I need to import a piece of it and just get a decent chunk of surgical tubing to make a good thing. Because I think they're selling some crappy quality stuff here. I always wondered that about Wolverine too. Yeah, what is he doing with his claws? He just sucks them in, and then moves his wrist around, and his claws are just not in the way. What, are they going all the way up to his elbow or something? I don't know. Jaimie, McSchooler stuff, then Colin Furs. Jaimie makes things Jaimie needs. Oh, Jaimie makes, you are doing this with voice, aren't you? You are voice recording and it's turning it into text. I think you said Jaimie makes cooler stuff than Colin Furs. Jaimie makes stuff Jaimie needs. Yeah, I would say the difference between me and Colin Furs and a lot of guys who are making stuff. A lot of people are making stuff it's like a proof of concept thing, just something they use once to get it in a video and then move on. But the stuff I'm making is stuff I actually use for years, for a long time. So, and I guess a lot of off-grid people do that kind of thing, but they often don't do as crazy weird projects as I do. So I guess I'm kind of somewhere in between there. Not that I never do things that are just proof of concept, like the giant robot project. That was I got it in video and then moved on. Although the next one I want it to be a real usable thing. I think they proved it's better to just go electric without pedaling because of the food you need to eat to power the pedal. That sounds like lazy ass bullshit. Seriously. No, you should just go electric because you eating food, your body's not as efficient as an electric motor, man. So you should sit on your ass and get fat. What, then I have to, okay, here's the two scenarios. I got 3 scenarios for you. I can pedal, in which case I get exercise and get all these muscles and get to stay healthy, and my heart beats and pumps all that, cholesterol through my veins and arteries and keeps them cleaned out. Or I can get an electric boat and just drive that and sit there and get no exercise, which means then I have to go get exercise somewhere else. So I have to spend more time than it took me to drive to go get exercise. And either of those 2 ways, I'm eating the same amount of food, right? Or I sit on my butt with my electric boat, drive around, and don't get any more exercise anywhere. I eat less. However, my body turns to crap. I end up dying 30 years before I should and needing all these hospital bills because my body's basically falling apart. Now, I will take the adventurous exercise. I will totally take it. I don't care I was about to say, I don't even care if it's less efficient, but it's not less efficient. It's totally not less efficient. You know what's less efficient? Less efficient is getting in a car, driving to a gym, and then exercising at the gym, paying to exercise at the gym. That entire concept always just wobbled my mind. Like, why don't you just go outside, run to the gym, look at the gym, think, hey, I don't have to pay money, great, and then run home. Like, anyway. Oh. Besides, like, if I'm sitting there in an electric boat not pedaling, what am I going to do? Just fall asleep, sit around doing nothing? Wow, that sounds terrible. Hey, dude, been watching for years. Always wondered what your internet setup is like. Is it satellite? Okay, there's an antenna up on the roof of my house, like inside the little cupola thing, that aims at Deshaina's house. And Deshaina has a matching antenna with this one. And then she also has this dish antenna that aims, oh, look at that bug, that aims north, and it connects to an antenna that's like 15 miles away. And that's how we get our internet. And that antenna at Deshaina's house, I had to aim it real precisely because it's aiming, 15 miles, and it has to be pretty good. And it took a while. It was just like nudging it tiny little amounts to try to maximize the signal. But it seems to be pretty reliable. It's been working for years. Jaimie, have you considered making a kinetic exoskeleton for moving heavy stuff over machinery as to not rely on wait. This is a run-on sentence. Jaimie, have you considered making a kinetic exoskeleton for moving heavy stuff over machinery as to not rely on generating power? Or does that go against your workout philosophy? What? Okay, I think you're basically asking me if I've thought about making like a power suit, like an Iron Man suit, without the flying and all that. But yeah, totally, man. I even have designs in my brain for how to make all the parts. There's no computerization in my design. It's all purely mechanical. There's a little bit of I wouldn't even say electronics. There isn't even electronics. There are some electrical parts, just like switches and contacts and stuff. And some mechanical gearing and stuff that's kind of like, I would call it like elegant and clever in the way it works. Because I don't want to make something that relies on computerized stuff, because there's always going to be a delay between the sensor and the computer thinking about it and getting back to what it's doing. But if there's a thing that just instantly reacts to whatever you're doing, that's going to be the most efficient way to build a thing. And I totally have plans on how to build that. And that's one of those things, yes, I definitely want to build. But I don't have time to do it yet. I guess I could just be like, let me spend the next 2 months making a power suit, and then from then on, everything else would be easier. Especially, man, with lithium batteries now, you could have a backpack, a lithium battery, and now you got me thinking. Because when I first designed this suit, I figured out how it all works. It was, I don't know, decades ago. And I was thinking, man, a bunch of lead acid batteries or even NiCads, it's not going to work that well. But now with some lithium iron phosphate batteries, like you could make like a really viable, usable strength exoskeleton. Oh, I might have to start thinking about that again. Thanks for reminding me. But that is one of the projects that I'm definitely looking forward to doing at some point in the future. Oh, let's see. And that's not against my workout philosophy. If I was wearing an exoskeleton that made me stronger, I would just lift twice as much stuff and get twice as much done. I'm not gonna like sitting there being chill. I would want the kind of exoskeleton that like doubles the force that I'm outputting. So I still have to do something, but it's just making me like stronger, Bring anything down from the States for you? Oh, well, I don't know. Not that I can think of off the top of my head, but I don't know. Maybe I'll think of something. This is the guy who's coming to Panama to visit for 3 weeks. Well, I don't know. Let me think about it. Send me an email, and maybe we can meet up in town or something. Or if you come out here, I can show you around, whatever. Presuming you're not crazy. Someone is telling me that my time zone is GMT5, Central Time Zone. I guess so. Electric pedal assist like on modern e-bikes. I know what you're talking about. Turn on Super Chat. We can send money from here. Thank you for your answer about the pedal power. Okay, for me to turn on Super Chat, does my video have to be monetized? Because this channel is not monetized. I guess I could probably get it monetized. But the way I thought about it was, oh, I just got a mosquito. Get back here. I have a big light on right now, right in front of a window. So there's a crack beside the window. Bugs can get in. So there's a few bugs in here. Anyway, what the fuck was I just talking about? Hold on, let me just check the message again. Oh yeah, Super Chat. Oh, there's a mosquito right on the thing. Yeah, got him. Death right there. Oh, there's a dead guy. Oh, right there. Okay. When I split my channel into two pieces, I figured, the monetized one is the one where I'm building stuff and not saying anything offensive. And since I often have to demonetize videos when I'm talking anyway, and I always demonetize these because I always, at some point, someone asks me something about the government, and I'm always like, that dang old government's no good, fools. And then I'm like, well, I can't monetize this now. So I just didn't think about monetizing this channel at all. But maybe I should. I don't know. Can I turn on Super Chat without monetizing? I need to investigate this, I guess. I'll see what I can do. I'll try to do that. Dr. Octopus suit. Oh, Doc Ock suit. That would be cool. That would be really sweet. YouTube takes 30% of Super Chats. Oh, those sons of... Do you carry guns or have some on the island? What's your view on guns for self-defense? I am all for guns for self-defense. I don't want to discuss what weaponry I have on the island, really, because that would, if someone wanted to come and kill me and they knew exactly what I have, that might be useful for them. But yeah, I'm all for guns for self-defense. I think everyone should have a gun because there are more good people than bad people. That's what I think. I think the good people outnumber the bad people. And if everyone had guns, the good people would be what is that? It's just a piece of burnt stuff on the side of a pot. It looks like a bug. Yeah, I think everyone should have guns. I think it would solve a lot of problems. Not everyone, obviously, but I think I'm all for people having guns. The thing is, I think either everyone should have guns or no one should have guns. This whole thing where you have gun laws that prevent people who are going to follow gun laws from having guns, and then all the people who are like, I don't give a crap, they're the ones with the guns. You end up with a situation where only the criminals have the guns. So if you can make it so nobody has guns, I will happily be like, yeah, nobody has guns, great. Let's go. Fisticuffs. I'll just be strong and defend myself if I need a knife or whatever. But when some people have guns, it's like, well, now everyone needs a gun, which is kind of frustrating, actually. I kind of like the idea of the olden days when people just had a sword, and it was like, well, if I'm going to try to kill someone with a sword or a knife, there's a good chance I'm going to get either killed or at least injured too, which, really makes the person think twice about getting in a fight. Of course, there were also bows and arrows, but even then, it's not like you could just instantly kill someone like you can today with a gun, where you're just like, oh, there's 3 people I don't like. I don't know. I don't really like the idea of guns because I think there's too much power in a person's hand. But since they're out, I'm all for the good people having them to defend themselves. Let's see. No zip line from the top of the hill yet. No, not yet. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a zip line at some point, but I'm not that excited about zip lines for some reason. Plant lemongrass all around your house. Mosquitoes hate that. I do have a bit of citronella grass, and I do have a bit of lemongrass. I should get that stuff growing more. I agree. I'm glad you're strapped. Maybe I'm strapped, maybe I'm not. I got my punchers. Actually, one thing, if we're talking about self-defense, there's one thing that I've always kind of made sure that, I don't know, maybe I should say this because it will give away one of my tactical advantages, but whatever. One of the things I've always made sure I can do is punch. So one of my morning exercises is this thing where I get in a push-up position, and then this was actually in my exercise video toward the end. Although during that video was when I just started doing a new thing, so I wasn't that good at it. I'm a lot better at it now. Anyway, get in a push-up position and then just punch the ground and just keep my body off the ground like in a push-up position, right? So it just basically trains my knuckles and arms to be able to hit really hard. So if I punch anything, I'm putting my full weight behind it without being injured. So I figure if nothing else, I can punch really hard. So, you know, if there's ever a situation where I'm completely unarmed, I'm never completely unarmed. So that dang government, yep. Government, dang old government. Yeah, 100% agree, all or none. Yeah, like if you want the good people to give away their guns, you have to get them all from the bad people too, which is not going to happen. And you also have to take them away from the government. Like if you're going to take away my gun, you have to take away everybody's, which is basically impossible. Besides, I can just make a gun. Like anyone who's even like half as skilled at building things as me can make a gun. Like if you said, Jaimie, you're gonna need a gun tomorrow, I can go over here and I can produce a gun before the sun comes up, something that would be lethal. So, I mean, there are a lot of people who can make them. Even if you took them away, people could still make them. England banned guns, so knife attacks went way up. Jaimie, you need 4,000 watch hours and a minimum amount of subscribers to monetize this new channel. I have no idea how many watch hours or subscribers or whatever I have. I'm really enjoying the low number of subscribers on this channel because there's like hardly any trolls, which is nice. I love that. Oh, it's beautiful. And then I can actually talk to you guys. It's so nice being able to talk to you guys without like the trolls just screwing it up, you know. The Prime Minister of Japan was assassinated recently with a gun he made from a hardware store. Guns are here to stay. Yeah, you can't. Yeah. Question, but can you karate chop? I don't know. I can judo chop. No one's going to remember that movie. You know, Austin Powers, he always judo chopped people, which is funny because judo, I don't know, maybe there's some kind of chopping in judo, but judo is generally like throwing people on the ground, not chopping them. I don't know. Is there a judo chop? The assassin made the gun. I mean, yeah, it's not that hard to make a lethal gun it's just not that hard. Like once the knowledge is out there. Hardware store to make a gun. Yeah. Just don't make a video about that. You'll get banned. We could just send money to Jaimie's PayPal. People do send money to my PayPal, and thank you very much for that. It's actually super helpful. You know, ever since I started kind of monetizing this stuff, like I signed up for Patreon, and you know, I made a PayPal available. You guys are really taking care of me, and that is super cool. Because when I started making these videos, I started doing them not thinking it was going to be any kind of income, but now it is my income. You know, that's how I make money, is doing these videos and sharing all my projects with you guys. And the only reason I can do that consistently and keep doing it is because you guys help me out. So thank you to everyone who's, you know, subscribed on Patreon or PayPals me every now and then, or sends me something off my Amazon wish list. Like that stuff really matters a lot. So thanks. I don't want to get all mushy. You guys always say, "Shut up, Jaimie. Don't thank us. Just keep doing your thing." So yes, I'm just going to keep doing my thing. But seriously, thank you. Jaimie, any possibility of getting a Discord channel going? I don't really know what a Discord channel is. Oh, there was once upon a time when I was something of a computer nerd and I knew all the stuff. Now I don't really know what Twitter is. I know kind of what it is. I just recently started an Instagram. So now I know what Instagram is. But like, I don't really know what Twitter is. I kind of have a vague idea. I don't know what Discord is. I mean, it's a chat thing, right? But you can have rooms or something. I don't know. Maybe I need to start a Discord. I don't know. What should I do? What would I do with the Discord channel? I don't know. I don't know what a Discord channel is. If you want to explain it to me, feel free to send me an email or just say it in here. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Yes, they were fast as lightning. Jaimie, you should build an 800-pound spider robot to protect your island. Well, it's funny you mentioned that. I don't know, 800 pounds, maybe more like 1,500 or something. But I was thinking, if I made a second giant robot project, there's a few different ideas I have for giant robot projects. But one of them would just be to make like a really good, the spider tank version, because I made one of those and it was like a prototype. It worked and everything. I got it to work, but man, I could make a way better one now. Anyway, if I made one of those and had it on my island, could you imagine some like troublemakers coming up to the island and seeing that thing? They'd be like, whoa, this guy is not okay in the head. Let's just think twice about going and messing with this particular place, especially if they saw the thing moving. And if I build a giant robot on my island, I'm going to put it like where people can see it. I'm going to be driving it around like daily basis. And it's going to have kinetic blasters that are like, thump, 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 thump. Yeah, and it's going to be scary. And if nothing else, it will scare people into not messing with this island, you know? Let's see. It's a shame you hadn't monetized from the start instead of just recently. Oh, well, I mean, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I've been monetized for years. It's just when I first started my YouTube stuff, I did actually get a little bit of money even at the beginning. Yeah, because YouTube used to have much higher revenue from ads and stuff. And then it kept going down, and then it made it so you had to put a lot of really irritating ads on your videos to get the money, and I refused to put them, so my revenue went down. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Thanks to you guys, like everything is amazing. Twitter is a time waste. Okay, good. Will you use your bulldozer to pull logs up to the sawmill? I don't know. I might. That is definitely an option. I've been thinking about how to modify my bulldozer to make it something more useful now, because I'm not really doing anything where I can use a bulldozer. The closest thing is I'm moving dirt from one place to another, but it's not really in a way that would work well with the bulldozer, because I'm taking dirt from up a hill, then going down this winding path and over here, and then dumping it and going back, and a bulldozer wouldn't really work very well for that. Bulldozer is kind of more just like shoving everything. So I've been thinking, maybe I take the bulldozer apart, just modify the pieces and maybe turn it into a front end loader, or even just like a dump truck or something, or something a little more maneuverable. And I don't know, I'll have to think about it. But I do have, I don't know, I have so many things going right now. If I had like 6 clones of myself, I would be like, all right, clone number 4, bulldozer modification. Yeah. Let's see. Discord is like a voice, video, text chat service, and a forum had a kid. You can have text-only parts of the channel for specific topics. Obviously, would require moderation as the only downside. Yeah. Well, I could probably get someone to help moderate that. Discord is like a voice, video, text chat service and a forum. Okay. How about a fake tank that has a scanner that actuates the turret to follow the boats going by? Oh, can you imagine? It's just like on the end of my island, like right up on the top of the hill, just this giant. I wouldn't even have a tank, just a giant turret. You know, like what's that movie? About the floating castle in the sky. You know, it's one of those Studio Ghibli movies. But in that, there's this fortress with these giant like steel domes and these just like pipes sticking out, and you know, presumably they just like fire something ridiculous. Yeah, just have like a giant one of those, like a big huge thing with it, and it just follows the boats as they drive by. Oh, that would be hilarious. People would be like, "Hey, man, let's just drive way far around that island. Let's not even go near there." What would be really funny is, you know, when some guy drives up in a canoe. He's just like the little guy, like fishing. He's got his paddle, his canoe, and his fishing thing. This giant thing is just like, target acquired. That would be pretty funny. Okay, to get rid of ads, you just click on video, then back click and forward click, and it skips all commercials, really. So you click on the video and then go back and forward, and there's no commercial. Well, I'm gonna remember that. Log arch with hitch to bulldozer. Well, yeah, I still think I want to change the bulldozer to something else, but I probably do want to build a log arch. Probably, for sure. Although there's another kind of thing which is like sort of like a log arch. At least I'm thinking, if a log arch is what I'm thinking it is. But there's this thing I made in Vermont a long time ago, and I moved some huge logs, like things I couldn't budge myself. But it was basically like a kind of like a thing like this, and I'd hook the log up here, and like my two fingers here would get into the ground, and then I'd go over here and pull down, and it would just like drag the whole log over. And then it was sort of like a can opener. Just pull the thing up, pull it forward, and just and pull it up, pull it forward, and I could move huge things with that, like really heavy. So I'm probably going to make one of those to get logs out of really difficult spots. Because, you know, when I go to the jungle, there's going to be trees laying around. I'm not going to make like a path to every tree that I find on the ground. So maybe I'll have like one of these things. I can drag it up to the main path, and then from the main path, I can use a wheeled something. A Builders Club Discord to get collaboration and instant feedback would be great. I would love to help moderate, as I've been hosting one since 2017. Maybe I'll drop an email if you're interested. Yeah, you know, totally send me an email. I'll think about it. I mean, obviously I have a lot going on, but yeah, maybe I should set up a Discord. I don't know. See, the difficult thing with all the stuff I do is like almost all of my time goes into actually doing the projects. So videoing them is usually like while I'm holding something up with my head and my arm, I'll like turn the camera on. It's like, okay, got some video. And then, you know, I edit them in the evenings after the sun goes down and upload them. And it's just me by myself. And if I had like another person helping out with it or working with me on it, I feel like I could do a lot more stuff. Maybe I should get someone to work with on that. I don't know. Oh, you're going to get Jaimie bombed. I don't drink, man. Does Panama even have an Air Force? I don't know. They have a Navy, obviously. I don't know if Panama has an Air Force. Maybe I'll be the Air Force. I want to build an airplane. It would not be very good for the Air Force, though. Oh, hi, Jaimie. Surprise can join lives in the morning. Like your boat painting video. It looks amazing. Creative doozer. Mine has car wheels. Oh, your log dragger machine? I think that's what you're talking about. Dating in the old days, E. Oh, that's something. All right. Well, I'm at the end of the comments right now. Does anyone have any questions or comments for me before I go take off? I don't even know what I'm going to do right now. I guess put my diving knife and my mask away. I'll go do that right now, actually, before I forget. Yeah, I already ate dinner. Basically ready to nothingize myself. Maybe go online for a bit and go to sleep soon. Let's see. Looks like no more questions, I think, unless chat got stuck. Sometimes chat gets stuck. Yeah, nothing else. All right, I'm gonna go. I hope everyone else has a marvelous night or morning or whatever. And what was dinner? Oh, I knew it. I was about to get out of here. What was dinner? Dinner was rice, 4-day-old chili. I've actually still got chili in this here pot. I don't have a refrigerator, but I figure if I pressure cooked some chili and leave it closed, it should be fine the next day. And I make sure I heat it every day and pressurize it every day. And I haven't gotten sick yet, and I've had the same thing for like a week. Anyway, it was rice, chili, and fried eggs. Just because that was pretty quick and easy to make. How hard would it be to schedule a week-long vacation with you? That would probably be pretty hard. Getting me to take a week out of what I normally do would be difficult. And I know what people always say, oh, but I just want to come and help. But when people come and help, there's something you have to learn about help. And I've learned this lesson when I was much younger. Helping someone else is not easy. It's actually pretty hard to actually help someone else. You can't just show up and be like, hey, I'm useful, because and I definitely learned this when I was younger. Like when you just show up, you're useless. You basically can't help unless the person's doing something that you really, really know how to do. But generally, when you help someone and it's like an individual, it's not some company with some specific set of instructions or whatever. Like you help an independent person, like you have to show up, and for a fair amount of time, you have to just kind of watch them and figure out what even would be helpful. Anyway, it's not that easy to just show up and help people. And yeah, I don't know. It would be difficult to schedule a week with me because I have so many things to do. Unless you want to do some just plain old manual labor, like just some digging, straight up digging. I don't know. We can talk about it. Seen crab claw sail rig? Crab claw sail rig. No, I guess not. I think that's a question. Have I seen a crab claw sail rig? I guess I'll have to look that up. Adios to Electric Bayliner. Please build the fake tank. I'm not going to build a fake tank. I'm going to build a real tank. Come on. Why do you think I bought all this stainless steel and stuff? I meant dating in the old days was easier. You just grab a club and drag her back to your cave. Well, you gotta find the right girl is the problem. Back in the old days, they were all the same. Now they're all like so many of them are all woke and difficult, and it's now it's hard to. It doesn't even matter if you can drag them back to your cave. You gotta find the right kind of girl. That's the hardest part of it, I might be having some luck with that a little bit lately, though. But anyway, I'll get into that later. Looking forward to your boat tests. Me too. All right, see you next time. I did that in college. I don't know what you're talking about, but lots of stuff happened in college. Sounds like my dinners. Sounds delicious. It was pretty delicious. I did a good job in this chili, yeah. What if I said I had boobs? Daniel, you do not have boobs. But if you did, that would, if I'm being totally honest, that would probably make a significant difference. Anyway, over and out, Jaimie. Help equals getting in the way. Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but generally when people try to help, they are just kind of in the way. There are exceptions to this, and I've actually done a lot of work in my life to figure out how to be helpful to someone. But it's like, it's not an easy thing. Like, it's a tricky thing to show up somewhere and be helpful pretty soon after you get there. Like, you really have to pay attention, and just like, rule number one, don't get in the way. That's rule number one. Don't stop the person that you're trying to help from doing what they're trying to do. Just figure out, like, your first job is just to not stop them. Your second job is to figure out how to add something into what they're doing to make it better, make it easier to help them. But what most people do is they show up and they immediately want to do something, but they don't know what to do, but they're doing something, and they end up doing the wrong thing. And then, yeah, it just ends up getting in the way. I think I've done videos about this in the past at different times. Love your lumber mill roof. Daniel Roop, you have no boobs, but this is how you do it. Okay. I'll see you guys later. Have a great evening or morning or middle of the day or midnight or whatever it is, wherever you are in the world. I think it's amazing that I can be in one spot on the planet and be able to talk to people all over the place. Super cool. Jaimie's been isolated. Does he know modern girls have penises now? Yeah, I caught on to that. Yeah. All right, I'm getting out of here. Everyone have a good night with your penises and whatever. All right.